koe pā te ia tua e mana ki rawa nei e tau i tiaki atua na nei i a mātau i te kokoni i te wāpū ko koe i anu tēnā e whakaronui ake ana no i a mātau i te wā i te kokoni i te wāpū mahara ke ake anu ko koe kia mātau noho tonu atua no ki mātau me te whai atu kia noho tonu atu ki te au tōhu waipia ngā wā katoa e pā te tō mātau matua no te rangi te āhuni atua ana rira ko koe puta atua no ki o mātau whānau tai atua no rā i o mātau tamariki o mātau mokopuna whanau ngā uri, ngā uri katoa no i putāti nei rā mātau, ngā hapori, me ngā mā tini tini, o te tā ngata o roto, i roto i nina. Nā rira e pā te iāwe atua, ka tikara hoki kōkoe, kia whakanuia, kia whakawhetai ranga, kia whakamoe mititia, whakanuia, anō hoki i roto i te whakaaro nui atu anō hoki, tāhau i whakaaro nui ake anua i maira, tāhau i whakarite rite atu anua i maira, ki o tuki tō whakaritenga. Kia tātou mātou. E no reira nā hai whaikupu ai ki a koe i tuki tēnei wā tonu nei. I roto Hawaikirangi anu, ko hoki mai anu nei. Hawaikirangi tēnei o ngā hōtaka. Kōpaki ake nei, e pōkai ake nei. I ngā āhuatanga i te reo tūturu ki roto i te tai Hawaii rua e kati. I te reo tūturu anō ki te ao kōhatu. Kia mātau i roto i taua au kati. E anō ki roto ki Wairarapa ki Tararua ki roto ki te ieni wā tonu nei. E tō mātau atua nui te rangi. Atua. Te iawe atua e pā. Kia whakanuia anō hoki koe i roto i ngā tua huatanga katoa no o tēnā. Me te whakaaro nui ake ki tō tātou mātou pēne ia tahu. Ia tahu posi. Me ngā huatanga o roto. Ngā koe pai haere ana i roto i nei rā. Kai te āhua kua ahua rereke i roto i o nā whāinga matua i roto i te wā hoi anu. Kai te puta atua no hoki te wā kia hoki mai anō tino tika mai ki roto ki ngā tua huatanga i whanake hia atua te pēi. Ki roto anō hoki ki ngā tua huatanga ki te puoro i te kīni mangi. Tai atua anō e hoki ki ngā huatanga ki taua puoro ki roto ki te pēne. I roto tahi mā ka kanui matua i re tārewa hapu nui tonu kai roto. Me ona tāo matuku iho, kai roto.
RFM would like to say thanks to the Masterton District Council for their continued support.
Ki roto, ki ngā tāngata, kia rātau ngā tūpuna miki, ngā tūpuna mātua, i roto i a rātau anō hoki rā, i ngā hiperu, Āwherika nupia, i roto i a rātau, aua whakapaparanga mai, anō. Ki roto ki a tahi mā kākari matua ko i ni taonga hea ni ke ne te papai ki roto ai kai te ao tēnā nui ke hoianu roto tonu anu mātuatia neki mātuatia te muti mātuatia te muti koia tēnei tētahi o ngā ureta rewa hapu nui tonu kaua ke mai nei anu kia ro nui atu ki ngā tuahiatanga i pātuai i whaipā ngā tuai e te ureta rewa hapu nui tonu ko te ki ngā tuahiatanga i te wā i mai ai te tāia ki o te ki o ngā rohe wei e no reira ka mue miti ka whetai ai teina teine hea piti hona ka tātai tātai mā kia rātai te mate e rā kua koia e rā koia e rā kua riro ati ki tia te ārai me rātai e rā e tai whanāti ana kia rātai i roto i te wā e riro kau atu ana me tō rātai ka huihui atu i a rātai rūpeke atu i a rātai ki roto ki te wāhi i whakatahira tia inu kia rātai te mata e ne reira kamihi karu ake, poroporo ake tangi ake tonu kia rātai me te whāro nui atu ki o rātai i waiho ake mai ngā tāonga tikuho e kōrero i honu mai roto i a rātai me tō rātai i whawhai ai tā rātai i whāinga roa whāinga roro ai ki roto ki ngā tīwāhia pana tonu ane huku ki a rātai kai atua no rā ki ngā whawhai nui ki roto i a e tahi whakangatia tua i e rātai tai atua no ai rā huki ki a rātai ka whetūrangitia tai atua no huki ki a rātai mate o tū matauenga ka riro noa atua. Me rātai wano hoki, tara whare, rātai wano hoki, mate i te uruta, mate i te mate korona no hoki e kōrero hia ke nei roto i rira. E no reira, tā māhaku haki atu, māhaku ki te riwa, haere. Tēnā haere, e ngā mate haere, ka riro atu, ka uti atu ka ka piti hono ka tātai hono, tātau mā tēnei, tātau ka toa ahurike mai, ki Hawaikirangi, ki toa noho ki ngā hōre Hawaikirangi. I roto i tēnei rā, te rā nei o te rua te kau o ngā rāparea. Te maramari, tēnā rā tātai, kai te mihi atu, mauri ora. Tēnā rā, hiwi mai anu, kahuri. Said it's wrong, but hey, what does he know? He said it's wrong, but the Lord forgave me. Well, I don't want his pity and your scorn. Boy, why you preaching? No one's listening anymore. That life your sickens me, directed on a return call. No man alive has done the right to save me. No, this can't go on. For your mother's to be. You'll never find roto I tēnei wā e tātai mā me tō tātai huri ke mai anō tātai mā tahi ki roto ki ngā kōrero a Hawaikirangi. Nā haunei, Kaea Matiaha te aroa hata e te rangi pū a tātai ariki matua te ure pāre wa hapu nui tonu tahu mā kāka nui matua. E pāhokai wa ke nei mai I roto o te whakauriori ki roto anō hoki ki Wairarapa ki Tararua. E takotoa ke nei I roto I ngā rohe wenua ki a tahu mā kāka nui matua ure tāre wa hapu nui tonu ki a tātai. Nai mai haere, ko te wā, kai te iwa, meneti ki te whā. Kua hoki mai anō ai rā, tātai I runga I te rāngunga mai I ngā āhuatanga rōreka I te reo rōreka me te puoro tinoa tāhua a te kiingi o te puoro kiingi mangu ia rōpata I roto I tōnawa. Karakau pēr tonu e tino whakaeti ai e ia tērā meki kōrero I runga I te whakaaro nui atu anō ki ai. Hoi anō, ki tā mātai, ki tā te puoro kiingi mangu, kai reira tonu nā aia, kai reira hoki me o nā āhuatanga. Hoi anō tēnei, kua huri ke a ke mai nei, I roto I tēnei wā āpiti atu ki ngā āhuatanga e whai tonu atu ana I roto I a tahu pasi. Ia mātau ki te kōrero ake I tahi o ngā āhuatanga ki te puoro ia rōpata. I te puoro ki mangu I aia. Me tō tātou whai atu ki te whakao anō. I tērā waku kōrero I putatu ai I roto. Tētahi pātai mai me ki he uinga mai kia hau. Pēwhea hoki e pai ki atu ai tētahi o ngā waiata I a rōpata I te mea te tino, te ātāhua rawa o e rā tū āhuatanga o roto ke takotoa tū ai whakauru atu katoa no ai e rōpata ki roto ki ana waiata āhua pēwhea. Nā te mea rā hoki taku wawao atu ki tērā o ngā tāruatanga I te waiata rā I a tūtahi I tērā wiki. Nā mea tuana I ahau, me tārua I runga I te whakaaro nui ki te kia ampiti atu mea pai, kia ampiti atu tētahi tū āhuatanga I roto tonu anō hoki I a koe. Māru anō tērā tū āhua whakauru atu ai, hei painga ki te waiata. Kaua hei mea, kaua hei tārua atu kia takoto noa, kia pēnā tonu anō te tū āhua o te waiata e tārua tia atu ana e kokoe. Ka whai, ka tahi ka tere huri mai tētahi ki ai ki te hui mai eta. Kia pēwhea tia tēra. Me taku, me mea kua hau tētahi, e tārua atu ana I tētahi waiata I au. Ana, pērā toru anō ai, hoki tāna I ki a ke mai. Tāna I ui a ke mai, me te ki pēwhea. Nā reira, kua huri atu, tātai mātai I roto I tēnei rā, ki te āta titiro atu, ki te tātaritari atu, ki te meke, ki te kōrero atu I etahi o ngā āhuatanga I roto I tā rōpata. I takotoa I roto I te puoro.
On your bike, might get on in real life. By any means necessary. Bring it to you like a secretary. A vlog in there make you legendary. Got me dead as fuck with a cemetery.
Ite mea, kama hai nuku atu, hai nuku atu le rā tuāhuatanga koko o reroke I taku wawā. Pai te tika tonu tērā me whakauru tāua pai ki roto I te e papai ake ai tāhai, ki roto ki tāhai kia rereke atu ai. Ana kia uru atu ai ko tāhai e roto I te waiata, e roto I te tārua. Engari ana kia pērā tonu me tāhai tārua atu te waiata. Engari kia mea tonu I hoanu ki te tārua atu I te waiata ki roto ki te wairua o Miki, te wairua o me e rā tū āhuatanga I kōrero I Hawaii roto I tērā wiki. Kai te pai, no reira, ai. Tēnā rā tātou, I roto I ēnei tū āhuatanga, kua uru mai nei, ki roto ki ngā kōrero a Hawaikirangi roto I tēnei rā. Kai te ono meniti ki te whā. Yes, everyone, we have words of welcome there into the show for today, the 20th of May, Thursday the 20th, and we have on the table some more kōrero, but around more so of the music of Wairarapa, of the king of Bob Marley, and having a look at some of the ways in which he managed to master the music. But firstly, let us through today try to answer that question. That question I was just talking about just before. Because I made the judgment in my judgment of Tūtahi last week, and I said, look, we, in terms that we want to, when we want to cover a reggae song, of course, the reggae song we were talking over was a Bob Marley classic. Now, it was a Bob Marley hit, and you know, someone turned around and said to me, look, just how would we do that though? How do we enhance the Wairarapa Bobs? How do we do that? How do we enhance the Wairarapa Bobs? And you know what my answer was? I said, well, very carefully. very carefully. And it can be done. We do it all the time. Tahu Posse can do that with ease. Even Bob Marley songs, we do it to every reggae song that we pick up. We don't try to, and of course, why is that? Why don't we try to totally copy, totally plagiarize, ways of working the music of other artists, just like Bob Marley? Why don't we do that? Because when we do that, we are entering into an area in reggae music that doesn't work. If you in reggae music, if you try to be like somebody else, you most definitely will, it's absolutely unworkable in terms of reggae music. You try to, copy bit for bit, part for part, component for component, component for component, and sound for sound.
This is
chop
Arrow
for
FM,
chop.
your community access radio station.
Yeah,
broadcasting on
completely of another
92.7
artist.
FM, but also streaming from our website.
It never gets there. It never gets there. It's not workable. It's not doable. That's why we don't do that. We don't bother with anything like
as
that.
television programs, and you
We
can
take
watch
the
them
Wairarapa.
on Wairarapa
Basically,
TV
you have to follow
at Freeview
all of
Channel
the
41,
all of the
or
other
get the YTV phone
advice
app and watch your favourite
that I
shows
gave
whenever you like.
for that group too.
Arrow FM
Well, not
television
really for the whole
broadcasts have
group.
been made
There
possible
are a
through
couple
the generosity of a
good
cluster
reggae
of
musicians
Rotary
in
clubs
there,
in our region.
like the
Thank you to the Rotary clubs of South Wairarapa,
Kura
Carterton, South
guys from
Masterton
Kura.
and Masterton.
There was Shefu in there. There's also the other guy. What's his name? Got all the tats there. And he used to play for Samanala Dub. So yeah, he's another good reggae artist in there. And you know what was the rest of our advice for Tutahi? We said you've got to take that music, you've got to take that song, you've got to enhance it, and you enhance it with something from you, a part of you. The reason why our advice was, it was built around all of that sort of thing is because that's how reggae works. If you tried to do it exactly how Tutahi did it, you would fail just like they did. They failed to get anywhere with their cover of that song. The song probably bombed out. Within 2 minutes of people hearing it, they probably forgot all about it straight after. In reggae music, when you totally copy an artist, you fall into an area that leads you on down a path to failure. Parrots and people like that are not very well followed and liked in our culture either. And in Tahumaka Kanui Matua, we don't like that sort of thing. Parroting and it's not a good. It's flattery, it's flattering and all of that sort of thing, and it's telling the other person something, yes, and that you like them and you like the way that they do things. But realistically, when you're an artist in reggae music, and when you're copying other artists in reggae music, that's not the done thing. So that was why my judgment was set up in that particular, was structured in that particular form, and in that way. It was a great question, Great question. So just how do we do that Song of Bobs? Without giving you all the answers, that's why I said to that person, without giving them all the answers either, I said to them very, very carefully. And then after that I said, well, firstly you've got to listen to all the rest of my advice. Okay? And then that should help you along the way to be able to be doing the right thing with this music. It's a very different music, reggae music. Reggae music is very subtle, very sophisticated, very touchy-feely, and very, very hard to control. It's that sort of music. You know, if you can remember months ago when we first started and I was running through ways of playing the music, I talked about things like control, regulation, manipulation, and all this sort of thing. And there's certain things you need to do to the music to be able to make it work.
Every Friday morning at 10:45 for Shelderpedia.
Yeah, so we're going to look at covering some of Bob Marley's works from here for a little while until we get on to, I think, our next speaker to come in is Tracy. And Tracy's our midwifery professional. She's a student still. She's doing a lot of training, but I think they're all pros, all these mummies, they're great at what they do. And yes, so she will come in and hopefully we'll get our, our awesome band member, our famed band member. I still don't want to name him, just in case he gets upset with that, because he gets inundated with calls and stuff like that all the time. We will hold back from that still, even though it's taking us a while to get him in, but we will eventually get him in, okay? And then hopefully our student with secondary school teaching is ready sometime after that. E tataima. So let's get a good look at that. I mean, I've done many. And I could tell you, songs like "Could You Be Loved." "Could You Be Loved" is probably one of the toughest to do. Yet to do properly, to do to a T. Yet I've done it, immaculately. Just through putting myself into that waiata, and I've done it in 3 different styles, 3 different ways. And each different audience I've had, I've put to them a certain way of doing that song, "Could You Be Loved?" And for each of those audiences, they rocked amazingly, extraordinarily rocked and loved it, and never forgot that particular cover. That particular cover. It sounds like, songs like that rock the world over and over and just continue to, even now. If you can play them your way and put a bit of yourself into it and really style the song to suit you and what you want to say with that song, without taking away from the song, without taking away from the music. I mean, I've even done "Could You Be Loved" in a totally different style, and I did it in R&B, soul, funk. And it worked beautifully, and I'm so wrapped with that. Yeah, that's one of the ways you can step out of core and do a little bit more to the music, step out of the box, and really rock it up in a way that no one's ever done it before. Do it like you. Do the song like you. People don't want to see someone trying to be a carbon copy of the iconic, the unbelievably remarkable musician that Bob was. No one could ever take his place. But let's do that for the music, for the sake of reggae, and for the sake of the betterment of reggae music in New Zealand and Aotearoa, Te Tiri o Te Moana. And saying, let's do that because of that, and say let's do it properly, and let's put ourselves into these covers and really do them right, really do them justice. Okay, just like tēnei o ngā waiata e whai ake mai nei, kai te rima mai I te whā, e tātai mai, e o pata, me rasta mai rewa, kia ora mai rā tātai, tahiri. Ana e te tata mā, te anō a reo pata I ruto I o mā. Kai te wā I Waiatatia Tuai ki roto ki Reggae Sunsplash 1979. I te Waiataraya Rastaman, ra tētahi o ngā tino o reo pata kai te iwa mai I te whā. Te tatauma I roto I te pōpae puoro pīni bangi āna via confrontation. Tētahi o te tino anō hoki. I puta... Ai, tētahi o te... tētahi o ngā mea mitunga o ngā... o aro patai mea tuai I hanga mai ai I takoto anuai I roto I ana ki ana waiata I roto I o ngawa. Yes, that's one of his classics from the album Confrontation. Yes, Rastaman Liver, one of my favourites, one of my all-time favourites. Just like Coming In From The Cold we had at the start there. I thought I'd start off with that one, such a classic, that particular number. And just having a little look at some of the ways that Bob manipulated and regulated and mastered reggae music. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that some of our people fail to realize that trying to take on reggae music is the way that they organise themselves. First of all, they have to understand the music as clearly as they possibly can. And Bob's understanding of reggae music is beyond most people. In fact, beyond most people worldwide. So he had a way of playing the music that no one else could ever master or think. And in terms that no one could play the music like he could. However, all of those that he trained, etc., and that includes most of the heavyweights of reggae music right across the world. Now, a lot of them have gone by now. They've passed on. They've left our world and passed on from us. But hey, look, they've left the treasure trove of legacies in reggae music sort of world over to enjoy. And so Bob is just one of them. And, you know, there are many masters of reggae music out there now, mainly because of this man, Bob Marley. And it was funny that we should have a song of Bob Marley, like Get Up, Stand Up, to critique the band, the collaboration of Titahi, which he had a go at covering that way of it. It's a pity they did it the way they did it, because it was far too much like the original version of that version, straight cut from the Legend album, and it ruined it. It really did. It really ruined it. Actually, 5 seconds into that waiata, and I didn't like it. Straight away, I didn't like it. Let me go back to Get Up, Stand Up first before we talk a bit more.
Factum Agri is a weekly show dedicated to New Zealand's agriculture industry
that we've just heard.
Hosted by me.
One of the major things I just want to mention, though, just before I do, about both those versions, those live versions of Coming In From The Cold and Rastaman Live, is the pace
of the primary industry.
Bob's doing them at
every Friday at 5 p.m. on Arrow FM.
They are classic reggae songs that you only ever heard in rudiments of theory, you know, at that pace, and within the rudiments of theory, and played quite slowly, quite reggae, traditional flavour and pace, and so, which is not bad. We're not putting that down, but there's no need to always remain super slow. This is some of the things that our guys get wrong, like I mentioned about Israel Star one time. I think I said that too last week, that he plays reggae super slow. Now, what is the use in doing that? What is the use in doing that? Is it just to show that you're a master of theory, or is it to show that you can play reggae? Because reggae is not just super slow. Okay? And if we understand the music, we know how to play it. And if the King, Bob, you just witnessed him doing 2 of his classics, coming in from the cold from the Uprising album of 1978, something like that. Coming in from the cold from the Uprising album, and done at a dance hall pace. Those are the first things, and those are the things I really want to touch on, and the particular way in which he organised his vocals, his vocal structures, etc. The harmonies in there, and where he utilised them within the lines. And if you've ever heard the recorded versions of those songs, they're totally different, absolutely different. So when Bob sings live, he puts himself into it straight away. So it's not just something you do when you cover reggae songs, it's also something that you do when you do your own songs. You do it how you want to do it, and that's reggae. That's reggae. It's the music of originators. It's originators' music. It's the song, the music of this is a music that's there's no other music quite like it, and that you can play in terms of doing something with it that's never ever been done before. Reggae is that sort of music. It's a music that outdoes all critics all the time, and it's not arranged like usual music. If you can remember I remember one time I did an interview on the show with Rob Maunsley, and in that particular show I mentioned the simple fact that reggae is like upside down, inside out, and it still goes round and round. And I made that comment. I'm just quoting myself there. He and I were talking about reggae music and how different it is. Yet it's still an absolutely beautiful music. It defies gravity. Reggae music. And so why tie it down to just one way of playing this music? And there isn't just one way. And Bob demonstrated that in his 2 songs. Brilliant versions, eh? Yeah, I absolutely love those versions. And we have also the coming up very, very soon of other of his songs. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. I just thought I'd mention it. And I also threw in there just before a particular version of Could You Be Loved that I have done, an R&B soul funk version of Could You Be Loved. And no one would ever think of that. But that's me. When I play reggae, people want to dance. And that's the one thing about me that nobody else has. Nobody else plays reggae music quite like I do. And people just want to dance. people just love that soulful feeling in the music. It's just a mastery of the soul and mixture of sounds and drums and reggae rhythms that always catches the audience that it was meant for. Yeah, that's reggae. That's reggae. And a lot of the time when you are mastering your sound for a particular concert, you will always master your reggae to sound exactly how you want to have it sound at any particular time. It's like improvisation a little bit. Because you have that particular feeling, sometimes you can go with that feeling, you can go with that flow. Where did I get this song from? Rio Hall, Flow. Yeah, I like that song. Because at some point you need to go with the flow with reggae music. And that defies all of theory's rules, you know. When you go with the flow like that, it defies all of theory's rules. You know, they just don't make sense in reggae music. If you understand that music as well as we do in Tahu Posse, then you understand that it is indeed upside down, inside out, or theory's upside down and inside out, and reggae's fine. I think it's the latter. But then I'm biased because I've been playing reggae music for so long. So, yeah. Hey, everybody, we have Bob coming up next, and I just thought I'll talk about those couple of things in there. Just before I go on to talk about some of the other aspects there of reggae music that, you know, are particularly important to this kaupapa that we've started talking on today, Bob's music. Yeah? Now, kai te rua tekau mātahi meneti, rua ngahuru mātahi meneti mai I te whā e tātou mā. I just wanted to share about, you know, those certain things in playing reggae music. You do have to be original. You do have to be yourself, totally within the depths of your own heart, what you feel about this music, what you can bring, what you have to bring in the music is what matters in reggae music. Because if you don't bring that and you just go out there and tārua, katarua, or cover or copy, yeah, it doesn't quite do it, eh? Not in reggae music. So, e tātou mā. But pace is important, yes, and we can do it slow. And slow is a very powerful mode to use at certain times. And we don't want to give too much away. Hey, you know, I spoke about that the other week too, that we don't want to give too much away. Even though we're giving out judgments of people's reggae music, and we've given reasons for those judgments, there's a lot more to the music that once we reach that standard, we sort of don't want to give out, because we need part of the music for ourselves. We need part of what we know about, you know, we talk about tohungatanga. And when we talk about tohungatanga, we're talking about the mastership, the masterful ways of mastering the music. And that's some of what we've got. You know, without sounding skitey or anything like that, we do have those masterful ways around this music. We know all the ins and outs that all the bands out there, every band out there, not one band out there knows. Okay? Not one band out there, not even Sheifu and guys like that know what we know about reggae music. It comes with age. It comes with years of experience and playing the music for so long. And that's how I know that they are brilliant musicians at reggae music, those that I've said, you know, like Kora, some of the guys in Kora. I think they actually play for LAB now. Hey, some of those kora guys. And so that's how massive musicians that they are. That's how awesome they are. But and then there's Shea Fu, and then there's the other guy. He used to play for Salmonella Dub, the tattoo guy. It's because I don't listen to him much. I listened to one of his songs. I listened to one reggae song, and then I listened to all his Māori stuff, and it didn't really strike me as his best. You know, I think he can do a lot better. But his reggae is certainly something to talk about. Yeah. I listened to his reggae. Whoa, hang on. He can play. Yeah, he can play. But I forget his name. It might come back to me later on. But hey, e tātou mā, war, no more trouble. E haere tonu ake nei ki a tātou. Ki roto ki te rua ngahuru mā whā meniti mai te whā. Kai te whakarongo mai rā tātou ki a Hawaikirangi. Mai I Tūtahi Trust Tahu Investments Limited, te pūtea moni tau toko, tēnā rā tātou, kahuri.
Permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war. This your war. And until there's no longer first class nor second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance to the color of his eyes, I've got to say war. And until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race, this your war. Cause until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Well, everywhere is war. This your war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south. This a war, rumors of war. And until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, yeah, subhuman bondage, yeah, has been toppled, yeah, utterly down destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. This your war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south. This a war. Rumors of philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war. Everywhere is war. Everywhere is war. Everywhere is war. Hey, hey, we don't. No more trouble. We don't need no more trouble. We don't need no more trouble. We don't need. Oh no 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 no. No more trouble. No more troubles. No more troubles. We don't need. Oh no. Oh no. No more trouble. We don't need. Oh no no no. No more trouble. No more trouble. I tell you what we need is love to guide and protect us on. If you're up, look down from above. Help the weak if you are strong. We don't need no trouble. Stop. What we need is love. We don't. Oh no 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 no. No more trouble. No more troubles. No more. No more troubles. We don't. Oh no 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 no. No more trouble. No more trouble. I say, speak happiness. You're sad enough without your woes. Come on and speak of love. Sad enough without your foes. Hey, we don't need no trouble. No. What we need is we don't no more trouble. We don't need no more trouble. We don't need no trouble.
Tino a tāhua rā e tatai mā, lō pata, me tērā o ngā kono hete ana. I roto i te wā haerere ana me te kono hete puta i te ao. Ana ka tū ati tonu ki roto ki the rainbow, ana ki reira. Tūari atu ai. Whakangahau atu ai. I roto i taua wāhi. Hey, yeah, one of the most brilliant versions of War, No More Trouble, live at the Rainbow back in 77. And look, Bob Marley and the Wailers, when they played there were a number of other classic numbers that they did at that particular concert. Before then, they had played at the Lyceum, live at the Lyceum. And that was when Bob really took off in terms of his career as an artist, as a reggae artist. that's when he took off right across the world from the Lyceum. And not long after that, he played at the Rainbow. And hey, I think he took the rest of the world and then the rest of the world again twice over. Because the Rainbow had a spiritual quality that just resonated everywhere right across the world. And it also had some spiritual quality that transcended all the boundaries, all the barriers, all the barricades right across every continent, every place in the world was freed as a result. Those are some of the comments that I've been told around those times from those particular concerts of Bob Marley and the Wailers, where Bob played at the Rainbow and at the Lyceum. And it was his producer of that time, the producer of Island Records. When he spoke about that particular concert, he actually mentioned that it was really where everything started for Bob, and he became a world item just like that, just from one concert. That's what can happen to you. And but you've got to be well organised. Yeah, these are some of the things, eh? We're not going to give away all of the mastery that we know about reggae music, but we certainly will share what we know should be commonplace, about the core principles of the music and how to operate within the core, and then how to step out of the core. A lot of us tried to step out of the core and we haven't even finished trying to play core. And it's a bit of it's a challenging world. It's a challenging world. Like every music, some people that watch our show on Wairarapa TV, they have said to me, look, we think every music needs a shake up like that. I said, yeah, but in New Zealand, they said, yeah. And they said everywhere. It's not just reggae music in New Zealand, it's just about every music, because I don't know. I think there's a difference between theory musicians. It's like what I was talking about last week. I talked about professionals and then there are professionals. And some real professionals can actually end up professionals because they get too carried away with their theory, and they do, and that's quite damaging for reggae music, that sort of thing. But most of the damage, it's hard case. I'm quite rapt that a lot of the artists out there that we've pretty much critiqued, they haven't come back to us and really, really moaned and stuff like that. We thought Kaea was trying to challenge us at one time, but we don't think they were now. We think that perhaps they were just being ignorant of some of the simple facts around, because we're one of the most senior tribes in the land, and at one time there in December 2020 on to January, and I think Kaea came out with a post on Facebook talking about that they were the most senior in the land in terms of reggae music, and we took offence to that. So we complained about that, and little things like that can happen. But what we've found is that had nothing to do with our show. So. All good. And we're glad about that, because I'm pretty well known by a lot of the best of them out there in the music world. Having rubbed shoulders with people like Brannigan Carr, Hallelujah Abraham, Ra now, and knowing those people in South Side of Bombay, all those particular stars and many, many others, you get to a certain point where it doesn't matter what you critique. They're bound to listen to you because they know that you're a bit of an authority in some areas of music. So, I'm enjoying that. But, Yeah, we thought there was a bit of a challenge going down when Catch a Fire did that, but then they've sort of backed right off. They got rid of the actual post, and yeah, things are looking good. But hey, e tātou ma, let's look at another waiata while it's nearing 20 to 5. And yeah, isn't Bob's music massive? Massive. But we're just mentioning a few little things in there because we don't want to give away too much. Tahu Posse uses all of the tohungatanga that it knows in reggae music. And there's so much more, we don't want to give too much away because that'll be like selling our ticket in the industry. Selling it off and saying, oh, no, here, you make it, we don't want to. Or otherwise, we're going to make it too, and you can make it exactly how we make it. Well, the trick in reggae music is being unique. So that's a part of our uniqueness. So we don't want to give away too much of that. Yeah, the way we play the music is unique to us. And so we don't want to give away the mastery of that. And yeah, let me get on to that particular waiata. Tūtahi, when they did get up, stand up, I remember just before, yeah, I bet you thought I'd just about forgotten about it, but I hadn't. That e tātou mā, you know, when Tūtahi did that, get up, stand up is about a meal ticket. Now, apparently in Jamaica, that is the only right the Rasta has, is the right to a meal ticket. And that's how deep and meaningful and so superbly crafted that waiata is. And I think Tūtahi just took it too lightly, eh? I think they took the waiata too lightly, and they just took it as a song of, oh, let's get up and protest when we need to, you know? It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. Yeah? Your right is all you have. That's what Bob's saying. And in Jamaica, the right to a meal ticket is all they have. So you've got to get up. As soon as you're called, get up and get that ticket, man. You know? Te kore tātou whai atu ki te katīkina atu ki te tēkiti tātou anō he mokai atu ai. He mo atu ai te he mokai. he mo atu ai, mate atu ai. You know? Yeah, it's that meaningful. Yeah, and that is their right to a kai. You know, and I think our judgments were valid, and our judgments were correct. But yeah, to find that way of enhancing any song of Bob's, if we can do it, anybody can do it. Enhancing any song of Bob's, that was the pātai. Well, how? How do we do that to a song of Bob's? They're so good. Well, very, very carefully. And then you listen to all the rest of our judgments of Tūtahi. And you make sure you do exactly what they say. And then you can't go wrong. Okay? Titiro, whakarongo mai, mā takitaki mai e tātou mā. No woman, no cry, e haere tonu ake nei, mai roto I the rainbow. Rōpata, ai. Me ngā Wailers, e tātou mā, live at the Rainbow, 1977. No woman, no cry. Kahuri. Tai hoa ke nei, e tātai mā. Kai te tino whai mai rā kia tātou tērā o ngā tā I te waiatara I A No Woman No Cry. Ka titiro ake anō e a hau tērā o ngā waiata, No te mea ko te tino o tēnā waiata I roto o mea nei. I roto o the lithium. Tai atu anō ai hoki ki the rainbow. Those particular versions of No Woman, No Cry have to be among the best of Bob Marley's versions of those waiata. E tātou mā, e haere tonu ake nei kia tātou. Ahuri.